Howdy, you guys. As you've noticed, I got a little bit of a different sort of setup going on right now. I have a camera, new lens, everything. It's, as you'll have obviously noticed, much better quality than what we were working with before. The only problem is I haven't quite got it figured out yet, and I may or may not have gotten some of the wrong stuff to use with it. So, it might look a little weird in certain parts, but just ignore it. Ignore it. I will figure it out. This is mostly also a tester video to figure it out also. But yeah, so I got a video for you. I felt like it was going to take a lot longer for me to actually do this video. It kind of snuck up on me. But yeah, it's been 6 months already since I've detransitioned. The big six. I'm sorry, when? Where did that come from? But it's, oh my god. It doesn't feel, I said it before, it doesn't feel like it's been 6 months. I mean, it feels like it was just right around the corner. I mean, you know what I mean? But I mean, I checked the camera and lo and behold, I detransitioned 6 months ago because, and the only reason I really remembered was because my rent was due and it was my 6 month out of my 12-month lease, and I detransitioned right when I moved in, so coincidentally it's the same time. But good god, you guys. So yeah, this is, I guess, a 6 month update. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I mean, fuck, where do I even start? I mean, just by updating you guys on what the hell's been going on. I mean, I feel like you've been fairly updated. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, well, usually when I record these things, I just sit here and talk to you guys and talk to the camera. But now I'm thinking, well, what the fuck am I gonna say? Excuse my language. I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't edit these videos, I just sit here and straight talk to you, and we're a little bit more up close and personal because I feel like this is, besides me testing out my new setup, it's more of one of the personal ones. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I guess 6 months? I mean, let me just start off by saying this. I don't think I'm currently detransitioning anymore. And I think that that's a milestone for me, definitely, because I mean, this whole journey sort of YouTube thing was all about my detransition and trying to get back to who I was, and now I've kind of hit the point where I realized, I mean, I'm more of a mix of both. I mean, I don't feel like I'm ever really going to get back to the person who I was before, and I'm okay with that. I mean, we all know that my biggest hang up over here about my detransition was my voice, but I've kind of come to terms with that. I mean, I kind of like it. I use it for singing. I freak people out with it. It's fun. It's fun, you know? But, I mean, aside from that, I mean, I physically probably stopped detransitioning a while ago. And I'm sort of just now realizing that because, at first you notice changes more and more, and I haven't really been noticing any of these so-called changes. I'm sorry, this is going to be super, super rambly. It's like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I haven't slept. I got done streaming a few hours ago. Oh God, I don't know. And I was like, well, why not? I'm gonna film a video. I'm gonna film a video for whatever godforsaken reason. But yeah, you guys, I mean, my detransition is over. Let me say that. I am no longer detransitioning. I feel like for the first time in probably a very, very long time, I am happy with where I am. And I haven't been able to say that for a while. I mean, even back when I was transgender, it was. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was happy, and definitely, in some aspects, happier than I am now or I had been. But there was always this sort of negative, sort of nagging feeling, just that something wasn't right, and it just kind of, that it was just dragging me down. It was dragging me down, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, now that's not there, and granted, I still have all the issues that I still have to deal with. I'm still working through being asexual in my sexuality, and I'm still figuring out what in the hell I'm gonna do with that. I mean, but I feel like we're all working through shit, right? I mean, I don't feel like anybody is just done. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and it's really weird to think about because I mean I've kind of figured when I first, and I'll be honest, when I first detransitioned, I kind of figured that this would just kind of take over my life. I mean, because I mean, at least back when I was a guy and when I first detransitioned, I mean, I'll admit I was fucking terrified. I mean, I had no idea what I was in for. I thought it would be a long, hard road ahead to detransition. And don't get me wrong, it definitely has been, and there's been its bumps, but it hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be. And I feel like I'm extremely lucky to say that. But, and I guess that really makes me just kind of realize that sometimes we kind of expect things to be so much worse than they actually are. And that's something that I've kind of have to realize that I've done so much is I expect the worst of everything. And you know, because I mean my whole motto, right, especially growing up, was if you're a pessimist, right, you I mean, you expect the worst. That way, you're either right or you're pleasantly surprised, you know, and either way, you can never be disappointed. But I mean, granted, I still find myself, I'm guilty of thinking that to this day because I mean, it's kind of like a safety net. I mean, just to expect the worst, but it's not always that bad, you know? And it's really hard to let myself believe that. I mean, it's for the longest time, it was so hard to kind of let go and like allow myself to kind of relax. I mean, I've just been so tense and having to do everything right and everything perfect, and especially since I started YouTube and doing all of this streaming biz, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's been kind of stressful, and especially with my detransition, I mean, you're always worried about saying the wrong thing or having, and especially with the internet, right? You're always worried about people taking things the wrong way. So, I mean, and that's definitely influenced a lot of shit. But yeah, it's not that bad, or at least it's gotten to a point where it's not that bad. And I guess I kind of just want to really reinforce at least something that I feel like I've been trying to say since I started these YouTube videos, since I've kind of really put this out there, you know, for the world to see. And I mean, I started these because I really wanted to give people kind of hope that if you feel like you've made the wrong decision, and if you've, say, whatever, regardless if it's transitioned or wanting to detransition or whatnot, that whatever you've done is not the end of the world. I mean, there's always a future. The sun will always come back up the next day, no matter what. I mean, your life ain't over. Because I mean, when I first, ugh, I mean, when I was trans and I first detransitioned, and I've said it, I think I've said it before, but I don't think I've really gone into it. But I mean, I went a long time realizing that I wanted to detransition and adamantly refusing to. Because I mean, it was just, I was like, this is impossible. I mean, what are people gonna think of me? What's I mean, this is a nightmare. I mean, it felt like an impossible task. I felt like I've made this horrible mistake. My life is ruined. What the fuck am I supposed to do? I've ruined my body, and I mean, it's not true. It's simply not true. And if you're in that kind of a situation, at least where I was, I mean, it's been 6 months for me. I'm in a much better place mentally than I was before. Things have changed. Things will change. I mean, people grow and situations evolve, and you know, I mean, it's all about your mentality. And that's also something that I've had to learn too, is because if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, right, which is something that I was, I mean, a lot of that is has to do with how you're thinking about it. how you're, perceiving yourself. Because for a while when I detransitioned, especially with my voice, because it was so deep, and I did get misgendered a few times. Went back when I worked at Walgreens, I got misgendered straight to my face, even when I was in a wig and full makeup. And sometimes it was in front of other people. There were other customers in line. This was back before COVID hit, and we weren't wearing masks. I was in full makeup and everything like that, looking at least pretty close to how I look now. And my voice back then, I mean, I can still do it, is much deeper. I mean, and I would try to lighten it, but at the same time, I hadn't done any voice training, and it was really difficult, and I wasn't that good at it. And some of the older people would straight up call me a guy and sir in front of a lot of other people, and it was really discouraging, especially when I was in that kind of more of a fragile mindset when I had first detransitioned, where I was, I did it, and I was proud of myself for doing it, but at the same time, I was scared shitless, because I was thinking, well, this is terrifying. I mean, and then getting misgendered, it just didn't help anything. But it gets better. It gets better. Okay, it gets better. And there's those weirdo frame rates I was talking about. But, I mean, things change. And realistically, I don't feel like I'm that different than from where I started off physically, but a lot of it's just mentality. I mean, I've come to really like my voice now, how it is. It's different and it's unique and it takes people off guard, and I feel like, I mean, it's typical for me. I mean, I'm not exactly the usual type you see. So, I mean, just think positive. I mean, work on loving yourself. People say that so much, and all the time I just shrug it off. You think, oh yeah, yeah, it's not that easy, you know? And it's not, but it baby steps, you know? I mean, even if it just starts with you just walking into the mirror and telling yourself a joke, or watch comedy videos, or if you can get a pet. I mean, I have no idea how much Dolores, my lizard, freaking helped me out. I mean, God, lizard cuddles. You have no idea, you guys. You have no idea what you're missing out on. The scaly goodness. All right, just figure out what works for you, and just get yourself to where you need to be, because the only person who's gonna help you is you. All right, you are fully capable of pulling yourself out of this ditch if you feel like you're in one. So just give yourself a chance. Okay, don't self-sabotage. But yeah, just things that I, over the last 6 months, have kind of come to realize, especially with everything that I've done. And, you know, life's full of twists and turns. You never know what's going to happen. I most certainly did not expect me to be making YouTube videos freaking even just a year from now. God, even 3 or 4 years ago, I would have thought that me transitioning was bullshit. Oof, there's a fly. Um, and I mean, if somebody had told me that I was gonna go through all this, I would have called them batshit crazy, But I mean, people evolve and things change, and now I kind of don't know where I would be without transitioning, really. So I don't think it's a mistake. And I've kind of and the more I've realized that I don't think it's a mistake, the better I felt about it, really. I mean, because it's taught me a lot of things. It's definitely changed my mentality about things. So yeah, I mean, take it easy on yourself, man. Just just give it time. Think positive. Change your outlook on things. You know. So it's and I know it's not that simple, and it's a lot harder than it sounds. But hey, man, if I can do it, freaking anybody can do it. You've seen some of the shit that I've pulled. I mean, it's crazy, and life's crazy. But I mean, I have faith in you. I think you're incredible and amazing, and I think you can do anything you want. I think you could fly to the moon if you want to, be an astronaut. Freaking, and something that pulled me out of the deep, dark depths, and I will tell you this, even when especially when I was younger, and I'm gonna tell you guys this, and then I'm gonna cut it and go, because it's 3 o'clock, like I said, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm very tired. But something when especially when I was younger, especially when I was a teenager, 16, 17 years old, I struggled a lot with depression. Um, and I won't lie, at certain points in my life, and I'm not going to go into detail, but at certain points of my life, I was suicidal, um, because circumstances. Like I said, I won't get into it, but certain points got really rough, and I hit some major lows. And sometimes it got really, really hard to see around the corners and picture the next day, you know? But one thing that really, really, really helped me out was, and there was is few and far between, but find the things that you like and things that you want to do, and then make plans for them. Because when I was in such a bad place mentally, I mean, one of the only things that got me through was planning and figuring out, okay, I want to do this. Like, I wanted a bunch of tattoos. I thought they were cool. So I planned and I was like, okay, well, I want a bunch of tattoos. I can't, I'm just gonna be blunt. I mean, you can't do the suicides if I got plans, because I gotta do those things. And I know that might seem really random, and I know a couple people might not necessarily understand it, but I mean, just make plans for yourself. Plan for the future. What job do you want to do? What pets do you want? Do you want kids? What are the names? Plan this shit. Do you want tattoos? Do you want piercings? Do you want to go bungee jumping? At least make a bucket list, okay? And just get yourself through it, because no matter what, it's not the end of the world, okay? And this is probably a random and all over the place video, but I mean, like I said, with these, I sit down and I ramble and I ramble, and certain people seem to like it. But yeah, I mean, those are my thoughts. It's my 6 month update. Things I've learned, things that have helped me, and those are my cats. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I mean, just have faith in yourself. Give yourself credit. You're more incredible than you realize. And I know you're probably way too hard on yourself, but just take it easy. I mean, give yourself a break, a day break. Binge watch a TV show if you need. All right, you deserve it. Life's hard, especially nowadays. Don't let quarantine COVID madness get to you. And if you're watching this in the future, whatever the hell then you're going through, don't let anti-quarantine get to you, whatever your situation is. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate you guys being here so much. All the support that you guys have given me through everything that I've kind of done on YouTube. I mean, I never expected to get any, if even a fraction of the support and just absolute mushy gushy love that you guys have given me. And like I said, I cannot thank you guys enough for it. I mean, you've effectively changed my life. But enough of the mushy gush. All right, I don't do cheesy emotional over here on my channel. But anyways, like I said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. Stay tuned for whatever the hell I have planned next. If you want to see this face again, I'm over on Twitch all the time under Rival Maverick, just spelled how it sounds. Links for everything in the description below. If you have any suggestions for what you want to see next, let me know. I'd love to put stuff out for you guys. I enjoy it. So, yeah, anyways, thanks guys. Yidaho. Adios.